Well, the man that makes everything tick in the new Aprilia RRV 450 Championship, Ian Newton, in competition. Ian, 2 years ago here at Anglesey was when you first got the 450 out. Did you think back then that you'd be able to get a full grid of them out ready for a brilliant championship?
Well, I suppose that was always the dream, but yeah, you think, well, it's going to be hard, but again, it's proved to be really, really good. So yeah, we're going forward, and yeah, the grid's looking good and getting better, so yeah, we're happy enough.
Now, the idea behind it is to produce a great platform for the young super teens to get onto, so they haven't got to jump on like a 600, for example.
No, again, that's always been a major problem for the last probably 5, 6, 7 years, that we've had so many good kids who've come through super teens, and they do what I call a suicidal step to 600s when they're not ready, understandably, because they're going from 30 horsepower to 120. So the 450 is the ideal bike for that. 65 horsepower at the back wheel, and it just helps the kids get along with it.
And it is, for the people out there that aren't aware of it, it is effectively an Aprilia Supermoto bike.
Yeah, well, that's where it starts life, and that's what we start doing. We started with the chassis, the swinging arm, and the engine. That's the Supermotard. Everything else we changed on it to make it into a proper road racing bike.
They're all on Bridgestone, one-make tyres.
Yeah, they're all on a Bridgestone R10, which has turned out to be a fantastic tyre. All the kids are loving them. They're getting real good grip and real good mileage, so that's happy days for them all.
And at the moment, James Folkard is looking like the kid to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, James is like an Aprilia Super Team champion, 07, and he was good then, and he's just got better and better, like, you know, especially he's had like 2 years out, so he's come back and he's jumped on it, and his first 2 laps are absolutely outstanding. He just kills them all, like, you know.
Well, hopefully we're going to get more and more bikes on the grid as the season goes on, but well done to you, and we look forward to a good season.
Oh, thank you very much. Look forward to it.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks to Ian Newton, of course, and the Aprilia RRV 450 GPs come to the grid on pole position. Number 100, Connor Tagg, and alongside him, 43, a lad from Liverpool, James Folkard. Alongside James will be 35, Jake Dixon, and 194, yeah, thumbs up to you too, sir. And 194 on the outside of that front row, Jamie Thackeray. Jake Dixon there, and Jamie had the most fantastic race-long battle earlier on. Second row on the inside, a DNF earlier for Sam Cox, number 54. We wish him better luck this time around. Alongside him, 99, Jordan Hole, 195, Jamie Thackeray's brother Luke, and then 29, Phil Canessa. Phil, who also had a DNF earlier on, and once again, we wish him a lot more racing laps. Somebody not getting away at all well there, Steve.
No, someone just pulling away very slowly, but it looks as though they're going to get underway. Look at this again, James Folkard, his tactics are working once more. Into turn 1 and turn 2, Folkard's got away well. Connor Tagg is, well, he's got a lot of work to do once more.
Yeah, Connor ran wide there, going through banking, and it looked to me like Jake Dixon just got the drive down the inside and up into second place. In fact, Connor has gone right down there. Is he 6th now at the moment?
Yes, well, we know that he's fast over a course of 1 lap, but he's going to have to really get himself up to 2nd here if he wants to keep up with James Folkard, who has been on lightning form. There he is, using all of the road. Jake Dixon doing well in 2nd, Thackeray in 3rd. There's Tagg up to 4th. Michael Clifford there, number 3, just ahead of Jordan Hole. To recent arrivals in the 450 Championship, doing very well on the machine. But look at this, Folkard then, as here he goes. £9,000 plus the VAT will get you one of these babies, and then you can go racing.
I have to say, that is an absolute bargain. These bikes, when you see them close up, they are so smart. And as we mentioned in the earlier race, the handling is absolutely second to none. Every rider that gets on these things absolutely falls in love with them.
Yeah, I've not met a rider yet that's had a go on one and doesn't like it. Last year's 450 champion Ben Gautry said it's the best bike that he's ever ridden. Of course, Will Hodgson, who's absent with injury, 2008 Moto 450 champion, says exactly the same thing. But, well, mix that with some raw talent like you've got here with James Folkard. And, well, the lap times they're putting in, seriously quick. And Folkard there, well, about 7 or 8 second leads coming up for him. If he's lucky as they make their way now, we're just looking at the orange leathers there of Sam Cox making his way up towards Rocket.
Connor Tagg now settling down to the task in hand after that poor start, works his way ahead of Jamie Thackeray, so Connor now up into 3rd place, but it's a long chase on. James Folkard out the front, and Jake Dixon in second. Jake, there he is. He's still in touch with Folkard at the moment. There's Connor in third and Jamie Thackeray in fourth. That leading four, just a slight breakaway from the group. Still a good battle going on behind them with Michael Clifford and Jordan Hull. And there we see Connor Tagg starting the long chase, Steve. He was quick in the earlier race and he set the fastest lap, but he had to work hard. He's starting the job a little earlier in this one.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go in this race here, and we'll see how he gets on. Meanwhile, battle a little bit further back, and and Sam Cox is down. And well, that was questionable. Was he taken out there? Michael Clifford just made contact with Sam Cox. Hopefully Sam's okay.
Well, I think Michael Clifford was just pulling across, certainly, to take what is the reasonable line around the outside of the corner. I don't know, Steve. I don't think he saw him coming.
There's Clifford there.
He's
Clifford's
ahead.
definitely not seen him. He's taking what he deems to be the right line. Unfortunately for Cox, well, that's unfortunate for Cox. Unfortunately going down with the bike. Hopefully he's all right, but that's not really Clifford's fault. He had no way of seeing Cox on the outside there, and hopefully they're all right.
Yep, Sam Cox, another DNF, and I have to say, I don't think it was Michael Clifford's fault. It certainly wasn't Sam Cox's fault. That was a really unfortunate incident.
Yeah, that's just racing, unfortunately. Seen a few of them in my time, and it's very unfortunate for Sam Cox. He does get the raw end of the deal, doesn't he, our Sam? But hopefully he'll be all right. There is the battle then. There's Clifford just ahead of Jordan Hull. Blake Walls also involved in that little scrap. But at the front here, is there any stopping James Folkard from Liverpool?
No, it's a lovely ride. There's no stopping him, but is there catching him? Well, Jake Dixon, you can see, has just dropped back, but Connor Tagg, once again, is the rider on the move. Since he got up into third place, ahead of Jamie Thackeray, he's been piling on the pressure, quicker and quicker laps, and look at this chasing group. We'll watch them, hopefully safely this time, through banking. But Connor Tagg, a new fastest lap of the race.
And Jordan Hull, sorry to interrupt there, Jordan Hull just clipping a bit of the grass, and well, unfortunately that's going to put him down a little bit. Connor Tagg then has made his way up past Jake Dixon. It's now the chase on for James Folkard, but I think it's too little too late. Jake Dixon, meanwhile, I think he'll be happy just to collect the points. It's all about consistency. We've mentioned it 1,000 times before, and in the opening round he had a fall. There's this battle a little bit further back for fourth position onwards.
Yep, Blake Wolves in there with Michael Clifford, Jordan Hull we mentioned there. We can also see Luke Thackeray, Jamie's brother, and Brad Shaw's in there as well. Brad, who had a DNF in the earlier race, right towards the end, but still on board.
Be interesting just to see them as they go into the banking again. If you watch Clifford here, number 3, he just takes this very wide sweeping line into the corner. And yeah, exactly the same again. This time it's cost him, because Blake Walls has moved up to the inside, and it was that sweeping line that meant the end of Sam Cox's race a little while ago. And you're right, yeah, Bradshaw is tagged onto the back of that little group just behind Jordan Hull there.
Yes, fascinating that Michael Clifford retaking that position on the exit of the corner as well, but meanwhile up the front, look at this, absolutely immaculate stuff. You can see how far ahead James Folkard is looking. He's in the middle of Rocket Out, and he's already got Peel firmly in his sights. Beautifully done.
Some great scraps here for the rest of the points. Clifford will not let go of fourth spot at the moment. Really good to see him up there, and shame for Sam Cox earlier, but Jordan Hull in there, as you mentioned. But at the front here is James Folkard, number 43.
Almost on the rumble strips as he sees the last lap flag. So, Folkard, Connor Tagg in second, then Jake Dixon, and then this bunch, headed at the moment by number 3, Michael Clifford.
There's that sweeping line, and again he's opened the door, and Blake Walls, can he get it stopped? Well, they had to tip it in at some point, but Clifford again has, well, is he going to retake it into Church around the outside? Closes the door, thank you very much.
And, well, Michael Clifford going through Church there, and he's hanging on by the skin of his teeth to that position. There, Folkard up the front, just around about a third of a lap to go now, running down towards Peel, has done a lovely job.
Yeah, it's been all too easy, really, for Folkard in this race so far. And, well, next round, of course, Cadwell Park, then to Mallory, and then to Snetterton 300 circuit, the new circuit. But it's another 25 points here for James Folkard.
Yep, great win for him. And Connor Tagg finishing, well, in second place. He's picked up another fastest lap of the race, and it was a quicker race than the one we saw earlier on. But it was all to no avail as far as a victory was concerned. Folkard has that in the bag. Connor Tagg, another great chase, and the thumbs up there. And Jake Dixon arriving at a rate of knots to make it flying formation at the finish. Folkard the win, Tagg second, Dixon third. Jamie Thackeray fourth, Blake Woods fifth. Michael Clifford 6th, Jordan Hole 7th, Luke Thackeray 8th, Bradshaw 9th, and Asa Webb in 10th place. On the podium then, we see James Folkard and Jake Dixon. Connor Tagg's off to get on another machine for another race. James Folkard leads the points from Connor Tagg, Jake Dixon third, then Jamie Thackeray, Jordan Hole, Blake Woods, Luke Thackeray, Sam Cox, Michael Clifford and Liam Shelcock.
Third in that race, Jake Dixon. You've got to be happy to take a big bunch of points away from you here at Anglesey.
Yeah, happy to stay on, and yeah, we made a massive change for the last race. It was really good for half race distance till my tyre went off, but I'd just like to say thanks to my dad and Buttons for helping me set up the suspension and just making the bike much more easier to ride. So big thanks to them.
All right, well done to you, Jake, and we'll keep our eye out for you the next one. Moving on to race winner James Folkard. Perfect weekend. Once again, you get away well at the start. Connor tried to close you down towards the end, run out of laps again. The tactics are working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're just our tactics, you know. Obviously, Connor being lighter, he's able to slipstream if we were, in a group. So I've just got to break away, and it's obviously working up to now.
So it's a big chunk of points for you, championship lead. Does that put any pressure on your shoulders ready to go to Cadwell?
Well, not really. It's early season. I've obviously won a championship before, so I know what it takes, sort of thing. Just consistency and trying to get as close to the top step as you can.
And thanks to obviously Menards Pavlo and sponsors, etc.
Yeah, of course. Well, everyone for coming here, supporting me and all things like that. And of course, Menards Pavlo solicitors, they're amazing. We've got Mark here today here to support me as well. Unfortunately, Paul couldn't make it. But no, brilliant, yeah. Perfect weekend.